Welcome to my show of ordinary people doing extraordinary things, where we hear from regular people who got tired of living their ordinary lives and were not afraid to make that jump.
You gotta be different. You can't be doing what everyone else is doing. You gotta create action. You gotta create momentum. So I'm looking for demand and I'm looking for mentorship because I wanted to know everything my mentor knew.
People who are just like you and me.
Jennifer, how you doing?
Amazing. Hey, David. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you.
You too.
Thank you. Thank you. I love it. You got your hair all done. You got your makeup on. You're always ready for a podcast. So I love that about you. Awesome. So this is another episode of Ordinary People Doing Extraordinary Things virtual. We have Jen C here. Jen C is absolutely amazing insurance agent, mother, wife. I mean, the list goes on and on. We call her mother hen because she just loves to take care of all types of people all the time, and also an agency owner. But really want to talk about Jen and get the chance to really get to know her, some of the backstory, and where you've been, where you're going. And just, I just see you really, really enjoying your life right now. I see you doing a lot of things for your health, for your fitness, taking care of a lot of people. So I wanted to have you on and really talk to you a little bit and see what's going on, Jen. So again, welcome.
Hey, thank you, David. It's an honor to be able to join you and be on these podcasts, man. Yeah. So a little bit about my story. I mean, I've been with you for about 5.5 years going on. It's been a journey. It's been a roller coaster. So it's definitely been up and down. But like you always tell me, you push me and continue to encourage me to keep going forward, coming from a life of addiction and then recovery and, losing a daughter and then coming into a place of finally restoration and then given an opportunity like this. I remember when I was selling jewelry online, I was a stay-at-home housewife and barely making $500 a month, and I was reinvesting that, putting it back into the jewelry. So really not making much money at all. At that time, my husband was the breadwinner. We had a ministry that we started, but you were looking for an assistant. I saw on Facebook and I was like, I could definitely use an extra $500 a month. And you're like, it's a month. So I was like, man, that was a lot to me. So yeah, I connected with you and I feel like you saw my potential and you're like, yeah, no, Jen, let's go ahead and get your life license and get you plugged into this. And I was like, man, I was really scared because I was like, life insurance. I was like, no. I know there was a time when I actually hated insurance, after losing my mom, and having to pay $20,000 out of pocket. And I was like, man, no, Dave, I don't know about this. And you're like, yeah, definitely trust me. So, I mean, and I knew you from before, we were in a business before together, and you guys all left, but I still stayed and I wasn't making money from that either. But I stayed because that's how committed and dedicated I was. So, yeah. So, jumping in this with you, just okay, let's go all in, man. And I mean, to me, you're like a superhero, right? I see you as this action figure and you got this cape and I'm just hanging on to your cape for the love of life, right? For dear life, I'm just hanging on to your cape. So I'm like, dude, this guy's going somewhere. I'm going with him. So, it's been a journey, Dave. Really has been great. So
it's been a lot of fun. So let's go a little bit back to your backstory. So where were you born? Because I know you've been all over the place a little bit.
Yeah. So I was born in Illinois, raised in California. So I grew up in the streets of California, homeless, poverty, sleeping in cars, eating out of trash cans. I left California when I was 12. My mom was an addict as well. There's 4 of us. So I have 2 brothers and a sister. We left California when I was 12 and went to Indiana. Was in Indiana for a little while. We were causing some ruckus because we was kind of I don't know if you ever heard of Bebe's Kids, the old cartoon. Well, my mom's name is Barbara, so they would call us, Barb's kids. We were just bad, really bad. So the city actually kicked us out. The small town didn't want us there, because we didn't know any better. We were just all wild. So we ended up going back. So we left Indiana and went to Louisiana. So I came to Louisiana. Half my family was already here, living. And you probably hear a bird, sorry. So my family's in Louisiana. So we came down here to Louisiana, lived here for a little while. We left Louisiana, went back to Indiana. And I think we left Indiana, came back here when I was in 9th grade. And then I actually quit school in the 11th grade. So quit school in 11th grade. Was this isn't for me. When I turned 18, I actually hitchhiked out of Louisiana to Houston, Texas. So lived in Houston, Texas for like 15, almost 20 years. Had my son there and then moved back to Louisiana. So I'm currently back in Louisiana. I've been here the last, I want to say 17 years. My daughter be 18. So about to be 18 years I've been here. So kind of been all over the place, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it reminds me of my childhood a little bit. So you said you're living in the streets in California, but in eating out of trash cans, and you also said you left California when you're 12. So you're saying as a child under 12 years old that you're living on the streets and eating out of trash cans, and that was with your mom, I'm assuming. So you guys were all doing that together. Wow. And I guess when you're 12, you definitely remember those things.
Yeah.
You think that helped?
Forget, Dave, because it's a child impact, right? It's a trauma that, like, and when you do that so much growing up as a kid, and that's all that living in boarded up houses, sleeping out of cars, homeless shelters, stuff like that. I even gone into foster care, and my mom had 2 weeks to get a place to live, or I would have been there. I would have been still in California until I was 18 if she wouldn't have got a place to live and been able to maintain us. Yeah. So
your mom was able to find a place to live at some point?
Yeah, obviously, hey, I'm here. So, she had that drive, right? She wasn't addict. She's a good mom. She meant well. And I think when people are on drugs, like, your mind is not, and I'm sure you understand, like, you do things that are not normal, and you lose touch of reality. So, but I know that she loved us so much that, she would do anything for us. And she made sure that she found a place. So I wasn't stuck there till I was 18,
Got it. And then at 12, you went to, said Indiana?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Indiana.
Yeah.
What do you know what brought you to Indiana from California?
So my aunt lived up there. So my mom actually had her head bashed in California. It's a big crazy thing, man. Like, my stepdad tried, I guess, was trying to sell us kids to child trafficking. So there's a lot. Someone come out of the closet and, like, bashed her in the head with a shovel and were trying to steal us from her, murder her. I don't even know. I just know that we were with another friend of hers that was watching us at the time, because the house was being boarded up. So I lost my mom. I couldn't find her. So finally we got in touch with her. She had run away after they bashed her in the head. So what they were trying to do was to get us back to the house to sell us to whoever my stepdad was trying to sell us to. I'm not exactly sure what it was, but found my mom about a week later. We finally got in touch with her, and she was like, "Do not go anywhere. Do not do." We're like, "Oh my God!" So found my mom. She had a little bit of money in her pocket. Here, I'm 12, David. Okay, there's me, my younger sister, younger brother, and our little dog. My mom had her bag of all important papers, and I was like, okay, and a little bit of money, some food stamps. So what I did was, when we found her, she's like, "We got to get out of here." Well, we got in touch with my aunt in Indiana, and she's like, "You guys have to come here." So, we had nowhere else to go. So went to the train station, told the train guy, "Hey, I'm talking to the guy. I'm like, this is all the money we have. We all have to get a bus ticket." I'm sorry, it was a bus ticket. I was like, "We all have to get a bus ticket out of here to Indiana." So on the bus, mom's freaking out. Yeah, so it was a long journey, man. She had a little bit of food stamps. We rode for 3 days. I think we had enough food stamps for food for about 2 days on the bus. The third day we had to wait till we got where we needed to go. So yeah, that's.
I know the food stamp. That was back when they had the books, right?
Yeah.
The books. Yep. And you pulled it out. Yeah.
You go take $1 bill and you go buy a little piece of $5 bubble gum to get the change back. Oh, we did that all the time for mom. Oh yeah. She's like, "Go buy some candy, give me back the money, the cash." Like, dude.
Yeah. Now they got the credit cards, right?
Yeah. Thank God those days are
paper
over.
Books. Yeah.
I think going through that stuff, Dave, it really built my character. Most people would probably be really, really bitter and angry and mad at life or their childhood or what happened to them. But I honestly, I'm grateful that God changed me, and that I had grandparents that would always, be praying for us. They're retired missionaries from Pakistan, and they'd always come get us from California. We'd get that one sense of like a normal life during the summer. They would come get us all the way from Chicago, Illinois, come and pick us up, and we go spend like 2 weeks with them. The normal life, hated going home. They drive us all the way back there, and they're like 70s, 80 years old. They drive us all the way back, and bring us home. So that was, just having them praying for us and knowing that we were loved by them,
That's actually how my life was. I grew up in a similar drug addict situation.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone ever tried selling me or anything like that. So I think I avoided that part.
Yeah.
But yeah, like my grandparents were. It was like the dream world. It was like, oh, we eat 3 meals here, and like
Right.
the furniture matches, and the beds look nice, and there's
running water, you can shower.
bedroom set. So so definitely understand that. So you said something really big, and I think it's really important, and because I used to there's times I was bitter, right? Bitter about my circumstances that I was born into, right? We can't control where we're born. And now I look at it, man, I'm like so grateful for my mom. I'm so grateful for any struggles I went through. And like to me, I don't think would have been able to have the success that I've had if I was, if I didn't have all that adversity that I've dealt with and struggles, and it sounds like you went through, a lot more than I did as a child. And at what point did you start looking at that as a positive thing? Because for me, it wasn't, it wasn't early on, right? It was a lot of self-development and really having success. Because once I started having success, it's simple to like retrospect, look back and be like, all right, cool. So I'm successful at this. And then why am I successful at this, right? Why do people listen to me? Why can I lead people? Why do people trust me, right? And I started thinking it's because I could relate with a lot of different people. And, if it was all given to me, right? If my I have a large insurance agency, and if it was a family business and my father passed it to me, I feel like I probably wouldn't have grown, right? I would have maybe maintained what we had. But I think the ability to really connect with different people has been my strong suit. And again, and I think that because of my past, right? Because when it's like you're a chameleon, right? When you move around a lot and you're in different places, like you have to make friends fast, right? I mean, dude, I went to so many schools. I was always a new kid in school, and it was like, oh, new kid in school again. Time to try to make friends again. I don't know how long I'll get to keep these ones, but I'm gonna try.
What about being bullied, right? I don't know if you were, but I was, every time I went to a new school, I got bullied in California. I went to Indiana, so I was the one with the first pair of combat boots, and I had the baggy street clothes, and I looked like a little thug coming into this like little town where these upscale rich kids are, and so I eventually started. I feel like looking back now, I feel like I took a lot of that anger out on other kids in school, because I was a bully. I was bullied in California, then I bullied in Indiana. And then I think that's what it was. And I don't know, it's just, I guess, because maybe they feared me because I was different, so, but I mean, to answer your question, Dave, about why I didn't have any of that stuff, like hold me back or, cause me to be like, poor, pitiful me, that's just not, I think for me, I'm a light, right? And I know that God gave me a purpose to be able to be a light in people's lives, to be able to just encourage people. And for me to, I love really, really hard. I love everybody, that, like, I even try to mother you sometimes, Dave. I'm like, hold on, Dave, that's not good. I love wholeheartedly, and I want to see people succeed. And it's amazing where I was in my life, I've always been a go-getter, Dave. Like my mom was a gangster. I'm just going to say that. She was a massive hustler. Like, she made sure she did whatever she had to do to take care of us, and that instilled in us, so that was instilled in me to, no one's going to come rescue you. Nobody's going to just give it to you. So when you grow up like that, you have that, that mentality that like, I have to do this not only for me, but for my future. And it's made me a better person. And again, like you said, I can relate to a lot of people, I have people tell me all the time, I'm like an evangelist, you know, I'm not afraid to talk to anybody. Everybody's my friend, you know, like I've never met a stranger, you know, never. And I treat people like I want to be treated and love them like as if they were my family, because I never really had that kind of connection or love. So, you know, I try to give that back what I was left out from, you know. So I mean, the life now is just phenomenal, man. Like it's, you know, going from running drugs back and forth from Texas to Louisiana, you know, to getting in trouble. And, you know, my son at the time, he experienced all of that with me, you know, and he's now a great kid because he's like, dude, I don't want to be like my mom. You know, I almost took him down that road of living like I used to live. One thing that I never did let them do is go without, though. You know, if I had to go work at the club, if I had to go work at the bar and bartend, whatever I had to do, I would, you know, if I had to sell drugs, whatever I had to do, I did it for my kid, you know, at the time. And now my kids, you know, do it for them. I didn't want them to ever experience what I experienced, you know? So, yeah, we got clean. I've been clean over 10 years, voluntarily went to rehab. And, you know, my husband now actually left me at the time. He's like, she's crazy. I'm not going back around her. So yeah, so it's been great, David. It's God's really blessed me and my family, you know, and I'm grateful for you for saying yes, you know, to the insurance industry, and for like not giving up on me and knowing that I'm the one that you have that's like constantly. Let me push Dave's button today. Let's see. I know that I probably ask the same questions over and over again for the last 5 years.
I didn't even notice. I haven't even noticed that. If you did, I haven't noticed. Yeah.
I was like, maybe he'll give me a different answer this time.
The answer I'm looking for.
Yeah, no, it's always the same answer. I was like, so I got to stop asking that question. I'm going to stop asking this question.
That's it. To cross them off.
Yeah.
So Blaine, you talk about Blaine a little bit, man. How's Blaine doing? I miss that kid, man. How's Blaine doing?
He's doing really good. You know, he was selling shirts with us for a little while, but you know, I couldn't keep like yelling at him, right? I couldn't be micromanaging him. I couldn't. And I guess people put the expectation on him because of who his mom is, you know, like the kind of production that I produce and what I was doing, the amount of money. They put that expectation on him. I probably did too. And I don't think he's a little softer than mom. You know, he doesn't like to be told no or his feelings hurt, you know, so he worked for a little while, did pretty good, but now he's at Cox Cable. They're training him to be a manager, so he's doing really well there. He's one of their top salesmen. Imagine that, huh, Dave? Like, I'm like, you couldn't do it with me, but it's different, I guess. You don't have your mom like constantly, you know, yapping at you. So he's doing really well.
Yeah, so, I see it. Working with family could definitely be tough.
Yeah.
So, you know, you brought up a lot of struggles that you went through. And a lot of different things that you went through, but you know, I've met you. I'm trying to think. I met you 8 years ago, something like that, maybe.
Like 10, Dave.
10 years ago.
Yeah. Because we've been doing. Yeah, it's been over 10. Because I was with the other that MLM for like about 4 or 5 years, and then it's 5.5.
Yeah, well, July will make 11 years clean for me. So we've never known each other when we were using, right? No, so that's why. And so I think I probably met you. Maybe I had like 2 years clean. I'm thinking maybe like 8 years ago or 9 years ago.
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, I met through a mutual friend, Bianca, who's absolutely amazing. Yeah. And just remember, like, you know. I remember talking to you the first time on a 3-way call. You remember? You're talking about different things you're doing for losing weight or something. You're spending a bunch of money. I'm like, man, why won't this girl buy these network marketing products that are going to change her life? And sure enough, they changed her life. It just wasn't them. It opened the door to something else, right? Super amazing how that worked. But yeah, we worked in a network marketing company together, and why don't you share a little bit about that? Because, you know, what I used to do is I used to really look at other people's success, and I was like, man, they're awesome. And I would really, you know, disqualify myself, you know, make it like, oh, I can't be successful. And, you and I, we worked at the same network marketing company together.
Right.
And, between the two of us, I don't think we made 30 grand in a year. But we sure as heck tried, and we sure as heck felt like we're doing big things. And there's people making money at that company. And I know a lot more now and why we didn't and why we weren't successful. But why don't you talk a little bit about like, when you did that and how that process went for you?
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, Bianca, back then, Bianca recruited me. We've been knowing each other for a really long time. Went into that because I was looking for some weight loss, right? I was like, man, I need to lose some weight. Spending all this money, I'm not having any luck. And then Bianca was like, well, you need to come into this and try these products. And I did the products. I really loved them, right? I love the products. I love the culture. It was just everybody that was there was just really, really awesome and encouraging and just uplifting. And I was like, man, well, this is great. Well, she then, you guys showed me how to, maybe hire more people, like recruit some other people, bring them on, make some money, we'll do all this. And so that I was doing that. I was talking to people, bringing people on that wanted to lose weight that I knew we're pretty much struggling or spending a lot of money. So I started doing what you guys are doing, what I was taught. And then of course there was no leads. So I have to find people, right? I had to go through all of my social media or family and friends. And that was really hard. That was very hard. Not everybody's, looking to lose weight. Not everybody, or they've tried so much stuff, they've just given up. But I stuck and stayed, David. I stayed there. I did it for about probably 4 years. I was there 4 years.
Set of the Kool-Aid stand.
Yeah, I did. And I mean, it was fun, man. Just, I want to say it was probably because I connected with you in that time and I trusted you in that moment then that dude, you could have probably sold me a dirt candy bar and I would have bought it, just the connection because I felt how genuine you are and I knew Bianca and how genuine and you guys were always looking to do the best for people. So I know I connected, but you guys left, but I stayed because I also connected with the other people there and built a relationship with them. And I was like, man, even though I'm spending more money than I'm making, man, it's going to work. It's going to work. I know it will, and I mean, I made a little bit of money, wasn't a whole lot compared to what I'm doing now. This is so much more easier, so I don't have to go find people to talk to, which is awesome. I have them all provided for me. So that's cool. And it's like daily pay, right? So daily deposits. So it's great. So, I mean, it's different. I learned a lot of stuff there and I was taught a lot of things, which, like you said, got me ready for this. I think God opened that door because he had something bigger for me, but I had to grow first and I had to learn new things that I never knew before. There's a whole different, thing for me. I've never been any kind of MLMs, never done any of that stuff before, So yeah, it's been a journey. I've learned a lot. I've built a lot of my character. I've grown a lot, I feel like that I've invested a lot of, time and money into my growth, whenever you recommend doing something, I do it, a book, I'll read the book. Saw your stack of books that you posted the other day. And I was like, I wonder if this one that's upside down is significantly better than all the rest. I was like, is there something to that book? So, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, so Patrick Bet David put a list of books, a recommendation. It was 25 books, I believe. And a few of them I read already. So I didn't buy those, but I bought all of them, right? Because I always, that guy's had a ton of success. I'm like, well, let me learn what this guy knows. So that's why I got all those books. It was almost $400. It was in my Amazon cart, and I was like, all right. So, no one wants to spend $400 for the books at one time, but I'm determined. So you talked about it's funny because I think, was it Dallas we went to an event in? Was it Dallas?
Mm-hmm.
I think is that like the first time we met? Was it in Dallas?
Yeah, when we lost the vehicle.
Did we lose the vehicle in Dallas?
Yeah, we lost.
Or did you lose it?
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
So I had an app. Yeah, it was in Dallas. Or Dallas or Arizona. Did we go to Arizona?
No, it was Texas because we drove. I wouldn't have drove to Arizona.
I know we did one in San Antonio.
Was it San Antonio then?
I think so.
Where was it where Joey was there? Me, you and Joey, and we're role playing.
I want to say that was San Antonio.
San Antonio. But wherever it was, and I could vividly remember us, and we're like walking in the street or something, like from the van or to the car, and I remember role playing with you and just hearing you stutter a lot and feeling and sounding really, really, really unsure. And it's super cool because like the person I'm talking to now is like a completely different woman than that, and that, you know, seeing the growth, seeing people grow, because what I've noticed in life is most people just live the same life, their same year over and over again, right? They don't grow. They talk about the same problems, they hang out with the same people, the same issues. Nothing changes in their life. So when you're around people and you're watching them grow, it's super inspiring. And I think it helps me grow as well, right? Because, you know, I'm like, man, Jen's getting good, dude. Jen's getting smart. I need to order some more books, right? I got to make sure when she asks me questions, I got more knowledge to give her, and it helps push me. But do you feel different at all? Do you? Because I see it clear as day, but I wonder what you see or feel.
100%, man. I feel like, you know, I you know, mastered the goal that I had to, you know, get my husband and be able to retire him, right, from the get-go. And I feel like, David, there was a time where I kind of got complacent and too comfortable, and then kind of like it almost kind of put me in like a depression in a way, because I didn't have another purpose or another goal, or didn't have any, you know, okay, so what now? What? Okay, what next? And I reached out to you and I was like, okay, Dave, I'm not happy. Like something's not right. I don't feel good. I'm not excited. And you were like, you know, because you're not listening to me, you know, and I stopped listening to you. And I think knowing that you're getting to that next level, when I stop listening to you, when I want to hang on to your cape, I feel like I let a hand go, you know, I almost let a hand go, and now I'm back on it. So I'm like, okay, Dave, I'm tell me what to do and I'm gonna do it, you know, and I mean, it's just, that's all I'm ready for, man. And I'm watching other people have success on my team. I'm watching people come into my business more, you know, and I'm like, man, this is exciting, right? We've got like a battle of the sexes going on right now, and I'm like producing, so I'm like, I'm on the leaderboard right now, and I'm like, man, this is fun, you know, like I got challenged, you know, and when you told me that one time, you should be pissed off, you should be mad, you know, and I'm like, you know what, he's right, like I am, you know, and I guess I couldn't understand what was going on with me. I was angry at myself, angry at the progress that I was having, because I wasn't doing the work, right? I wasn't doing what you were telling me to do. You would tell me and I wouldn't do it. So I started doing the things you were telling me to do. You know, I started recruiting more. I started talking to people more on social media, just checking in on them, you know, just seeing how they're doing, you know, and posting more stuff on social media. So thanks for that, Dave. That's great advice. And I took your little saying, never settle.
Never settle. That's it.
Yeah, never settle. I'm like, man, that's good. So you need to hashtag that, Dave.
Absolutely. Yeah. I realized, like, if I'm not like building something, right? If I'm not like I could only relax for so long. And don't get me wrong, there's some relaxed time involved. Everyone should relax, but like I can't just relax for like days or weeks. Like there's not, like I have to be trying to build something or working on a new goal, or, you know, something, you know, whatever it is. And I just assume most people are like me. They just maybe not realize it, or maybe I just realized some things they haven't realized yet. And sometimes I realize stuff I haven't realized yet. But I believe that people, right, in general, they need purpose. Like they need a reason to get excited about getting out of bed. And when you take away that purpose, you're in a depression. And I think that's what it is. And I think so many people, you know, might fight with depression or be in depression. And I'm not a doctor. I don't want to claim to be one. But I believe if, you know, we could help these people find a purpose and find a reason to do something, I believe that can help a lot of people. So I think that it's important to always be trying to grow, right? Because if you're not trying to grow, to me, you're moving backwards. I mean, even the body. So, I'm started studying longevity and trying to figure out how to not age anymore and just want to stay in this spot right here. And, they say like you have to lift heavy weights, right? Because as you get older, your body's going to want to start breaking down, right? And
Okay.
if you're lifting heavy weights, then your body's trying to build up to withstand the heavier weights,
Yeah.
right? So then that stops it from breaking down. So it's important that you are, using some kind of, weight training in
Yeah.
your routine, and that's something I learned. So I'm like, all right, well, gotta move some heavy weights around, right? So I don't decay, right? Because that's when you start decaying. So
You're right. Yeah. Wow.
I see you've
Yeah.
been waking up early and stuff. You got like a group of you guys, or what's going on? What am I seeing on social media?
Yeah. I mean, the thing about it too, Dave, is like, for me, I hate getting up super early. I do not like it. And because I don't like it, I have to do it. Right. And when you start doing the things you don't like the most, it's going to change you, and I'm like, this is hard for me to get up this early in the morning, but that's not really hard. I make it hard, right? I put that thought in my head and I'm like, you know what, this is great. So when I wake up in the morning, like 4:30 a.m., I'm like, thank you, Lord, for waking me up. And I'm like, this is great. So I start working out. I think the cool thing is that you feel better, right? You have more energy. And I mean, so obesity kind of ran in my family a little bit, and my mom was 58 when she passed away, David. And I'm like, I don't want to die young. I don't want to pass away when I'm in my 50s. I don't want to be overweight and obese. I don't want to look like that, and I want to do something about it. So yeah, you've helped me with some things to help me out. I'm using the app that you told me about. I figured it out. So just like you said, when it's hard, I run away. When it's easy, I'm like, yeah, let's go. So yeah. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna prove Dave wrong. I was getting it, so I got it.
And no doubt.
Yeah, figured it out. So yeah, a couple of us are holding each other accountable. Bianca's getting married soon, so a lot of us too don't want to look like some busted can of biscuits in the bridesmaid dresses. So we've got a goal, right? And we have until May to figure it out. So you have to do something about it. So yeah, I want to live long too, Dave.
Good. I need you to live long. I'll be so bored without you, Jen. I don't even know what I would do with my half my day.
Right? What would you do without me? Like sending you a text, checking in, bothering you? Yeah. Love it. Yeah. So
Awesome. Cool.
It's good having accountability, David. Definitely is really good. I just really want to encourage a lot of people out there too, David, because a lot of people think that they can't do things or they limit themselves, And I think that like if people would stop limiting themselves and stop telling themselves them wrong things, like I'm like my no self-doubt, you're always telling me that, Jen, quit doubting yourself, and you remind me of how great I am, which is amazing, man. And I appreciate that. So that's, sometimes I do have those things come back, because the enemy wants to tell you lies, but it's not true. So I just want to encourage people, Dave, to do something different. Like if they're not happy with their situation right now, do something different. Reach out to that person that you see doing really, really well and connect with them, even if you need to just borrow their belief or their strength and hope for the time, do it. And of course, God, man, I give it all to God, David. He's really changed my life, helped my business, and it's amazing. So.
Awesome, Jen. Well, we really appreciate having you on. Any last thoughts or last words of encouragement that you want to give to anyone watching who got to get a little keyhole into your life?
Yeah, I mean, just do it, man. If there's something that you think you are not good at, or if you think that, I probably can't work with this person, that's not true. You won't know unless you reach out to that person if you can work with them, or if you can join them, or you can hang out with them, be friends, whatever. If I can be of service to anybody, I'm here. Reach out to me. I'm on all social media and stuff. So, you can find me, no problem. Again, too, just do something different, man. Change your, change what you're doing now with your situation. I mean, for me, I do it for my kids. I I have a son and a daughter, and I do it for them because when I'm gone, I want them to have something behind, a legacy left behind. So, I mean, I just encourage people to get out of your comfort zone, right? Get uncomfortable, do the hard stuff, right? Do the hard stuff. The hard stuff's going to make you a much better person and also give you just things that you've never had. So, yeah, just want to encourage you guys to not give up. If you would have gave up or quit a long time ago, man, where would we be now? So same thing here. So yeah, thanks for having me on here, Dave. I love you, man. You're amazing, and I love all you guys. So thanks for watching us. It's just a journey that's amazing. I'm excited, Dave.
You're always excited. I love it. What you said you're on social media. What's your Instagram? It's is it Jennifer Official? What is it?
Yeah, I think it's Jen Cormier Official.
Jen Cormier Official.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now. It's yeah, I don't even know how to find. Yeah, it's Jen Rock Cormier Official.
Jen Rock Cormier Official. Awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
1 N, not 2. Yeah, I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. Jennifer Rock Cormier. I'm also on TikTok. TikTok, baby. So LinkedIn. Awesome. Yep, I got all of them. So yeah, you guys can look for me, connect with me, whatever you'd like to do. If you're just looking for someone to give you some light and encouragement, I'm there.
Awesome, Jen. Again, really appreciate you. This has been another episode of Ordinary People Doing Extraordinary Things. If you like what you see, please send us a follow, hit the little bell, put us some comments, thumbs up, give us some love on our videos. That's what makes us want to make some more videos. So thanks again, Jen, for joining us today, and hope everyone has an amazing day. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. Have a great day.